Matt Riddle, one of the dumbest guys in wrestling today, finally got himself fired by WWE, and really, he had this coming for a long, long time. Failing tests, accusing people of assault in public, going to conventions while working for a PG company, talking about top names online, etc. It's amazing that he lasted as long as he did. Question for K100. Do you think Tony Khan is stupid enough to think, yeah, that's who we need on our roster? Can Matt Riddle wrestle? Yes. He's a great talent. When I seen him on NXT, I assumed he was going to easily become a WWE champion. But if AEW signs him, do you think there's a chance it could just end up being another Jeff Hardy situation? I don't know the guy, so I can't comment on that. But I mean, I heard he's getting his life back together, so we'll see. But there's always a risk involved with something like that. I can't comment. I don't know the guy.
I don't know that he's Go ahead, Konnan.
I just think that, unfortunately, I don't think Tony can help himself. You know, he's like, it's almost like if you're like a sneakerhead and the new sneaker comes out and you just have to have it, you know what I'm saying? And but Dominic always puts him over as being really cool. Obviously, he's kind of a rebel, or is a rebel, and he lasted this long because he had talent and he was over. But I guess that happened in the airport was the straw that broke the camel's back.
What happened in the airport?
Yeah, and
he accused. Yeah, go ahead.
He accused
I don't know the story.
The security guard or whatever that patted him down, like he groped him or something like that. You know.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right, and I think he screamed out loud, like, "What are you doing?" You know, and all this other, and like he made a real big scene.
Yeah, and it became an official investigation and all that, and but I don't know that Riddle will go there. I mean, I know you never say never, but I think like his history in locker rooms and stuff, even though Konnan just referenced Dom saying he's cool, like he's had some problems, and there's guys in AEW that don't like him, guys with power. So,
thank you for stating the obvious, Joe. Next is from John Kamepa, and the subject is Konnan's negotiations. One of the single most irritating things, Joe, you got to get. You're kind of like the Walter Cronkite of the broadcast. Like you'll state the most obvious thing. You know,
I'll take it.
So next is from Andrew, and the subject is UFC Prez does rant on Matt Riddle. Hey guys, I was wondering what your reaction to Dana White, UFC's president's rant on Matt Riddle. Not sure if this is new or old. Do you pull it up, Joe? I think I've seen this. I think it is old. It's definitely not.
Yeah,
new.
I think.
Yeah, he
it's very old.
Right. You want to play it? How long is it?
It's on Instagram, but it didn't. Oh, here it is.
Oh, is this the one where Chael Sonnen is interviewing him?
I don't know. We're gonna find out.
Yes. Yeah. Riddle left, or Riddle was released from UFC because he failed a couple of weed. You know.
Right,
so anyway.
Is a young man who's given a huge opportunity to put on the Ultimate Fighter, put in the UFC time again. His name
Echoing on our end, Joe.
Okay.
On our end, it's echoing.
Yeah. I'm changing the sound. Okay, should be good.
Riddle, what are your thoughts on this gentleman?
Yeah, that's the story that was written that he made all these allegations about mixed martial arts businesses are run by these bad guys, these scumbags, and this and that. He basically said, I want to get back out in the real world now and start working. I want to get a job where I know I'm going to get a paycheck. I'm not going to get punched in the face and get brain damage. And I know I'm going to be treated fairly. And he said that we treated him unfairly and our competitor treated him unfairly. Now I don't want to sound like a go whatever. Well, those guys signed him, and now they won't give him a fight until January. If you sign a contract with the UFC, I owe you 3 fights in a year. If you don't fight those 3 fights in a year because of me, I still have to pay you your money, right? So he said that since from 2011 to 2013, that guy was making $162,000 a year.
Wow.
Now understand this: the guy fights on prelims. Does Matt Riddle sell any more tickets? Does he sell any more pay-per-views? The guy's fighting on the prelims. Okay, he's fighting his way up to get the opportunity to possibly someday become a big star in the sport. Then he comes out and says, we treated him horrible. He was treated so horrible here. You were making $162,000 a year. He's making something like $52,000 or $54,000 a fight, and you fight 3 times a year, unless you get injured or something like that happens. We have health insurance here, which has never been done in the history of the world with fight promoters, okay? Now, the reason he's not in the UFC anymore is because he could not pass it. The guy couldn't pass it. Okay? So he couldn't. And think about this. You have to go to work 3 times a year, and you couldn't pass it. You're so weak-minded and so addicted to that you couldn't stay off it enough to pass it 3 times a year. Well, guess what, dummy? They in the real world, too. You think you're going to go to work 325 days a year and not get right? He couldn't pass it 3 times a year, but he's going to pass it in the real world, right? And I want to know where this rocket scientist is going to go and make $100,000 a year, right? And also, this is the guy, Matt Riddle, who did an interview and said, I smoke marijuana so I don't my wife and children.
Oh, my.
Oh, my.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I want to point out, MMA Junkie, the people that did this story took one side of the story, and they're writing this big story about a guy who said, I smoke on wife and kids, and only got his side of the story. Real journalism. Real journalism.
Wow.
No, Dana, real journalism is wrestling journalism. Get your.
That was well, he was right and he was
That's
wrong.
a great promo.
Well, he was
That's
right
10
and he was
years ago.
wrong.
Too, yeah.
He predicted they would fail drug tests in future jobs, but
Right.
he did find a job making more than $162,000 a year, according
Yeah, that's
for
for
the
damn
WWE.
sure. But he doesn't have it anymore.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and-
Bro, you know what I read? And I don't know how they.
Go ahead, Di hit something. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Bro, I read that when he was in the airport and he was, hey, you can't touch me like that, and all that other made a big scene. He was on.
Oh, really? I read that
Yeah.
it was being reported that he appeared drunk or something. I didn't hear that. Ooh.
Yeah.
This is
Look it
fishy.
up.
Yeah.
Coney, you're gonna like this one, I think.
right.
From this one's called.
Oh, just real quick on the Riddle email. Sorry, Di. Just that the Twitter world and the wrestling rumors world is swirling and saying it's very coincidental that once Endeavor, UFC and WWE come together, that Riddle gets fired. Like Dana still had a grudge against Riddle or something like that.
Maybe.
Which, hey,
Yeah, and well, so let's be honest. The guy was on probation and was supposed to be squeaky clean. If he had another incident, you could
At an
definitely see the writing
airport.
on the wall. Yeah.
yep.
Yo, what up? This is Konnan, and I host Keeping It 100, my co-host, Disco Inferno, unfortunately.
Well, I'd say you're my co-host.
Listen, every Thursday here on Spreaker, we talk pro wrestling, sports, movies, music, TV, pop culture, and some politics. It's everything the rest of the pro wrestling podcasts are not.
Tune in to hear myself, the superior one, educate and inform.
Tune in to hear me bury Disco.
That's very disrespectful.
Join us every Thursday on Spreaker and keep it 100. Boom!